Hello, hello, hello. Man, I haven't been on here. Oh my goodness, it's been a minute. So we're going to give people time to come in. I'm going to put things on Do Not Disturb so we won't be disturbed from a phone call or something. Yes. I hope everybody has been amazingly great. I have, other than my little raspy voice, I got my water to keep me more and more hydrated because that's been pretty much the consensus since I've gotten off the plane. So, came back in the studio recently, but I want to talk about grief today. So we're going to give it a minute and give some people time to get the emails and get the notifications and all the things. And so we're gonna kind of do a little FaceTime today and talk about grief. And grief just sends you in a spiral some days. And today was one of those days. I think I literally just got up. So let's talk about it. I did find an easel that I like. So I'm going to put that on my Christmas list. It's the kind it's going to be great. So you're going to see it. I'm going to just share it with you. I need to know, can I add something to this? Not sure. I did a live, how you call it? It was a podcast yesterday. And I did it in my blog, but I hope I got my blog listed on here so you can go check it out. It'll be great. But I really have been digging deeper into my 3 R's: rediscovering, reclaiming, and renewing your joy. And I've kind of realized that it kind of works. It does help me on my journey with not just grief, but sometimes it's kind of hard to separate my journey because that's my journey. I've lost 2 children and that's my life. So some days I just have to ask myself, is it grief that I'm going through? Or is it just somebody just really ticked me off, pissed me off, or whatever? So sometimes I have to try to figure out what it is. Sometimes. And then sometimes I don't care. But today I just let my... just let it be. I didn't worry about it. Didn't stress over it. So, all right, where we're at, we're going to go, because we're not really going to go to the desk. I am going to go to the desk. Not really. I don't know. This is really finna be an informal. I just had to get back on here and say hi, guys. Like, I missed you guys while I was gone, but the connection and YouTube and really being present in Spain, I decided to just be present in Spain. I got a little package today. I had to get on the boat and go out to the mailbox because it is raining something fierce here. The dogs just really got food because I wasn't going out in that rain. But yeah, we got some cute things that I went and I ordered. Oh, they're individual little packets. So maybe let's go over to the desk a little bit. And then I can just pop back over. That's what we can do. All right, so I took my white pad that I had up under here off the desk. And I hate the light, so we're going to just act like the light isn't there. But because my desktop is glass, you're going to get the reflection of the light that's up there. So we'll just kind of ignore it because I changed my desk around and put it back over here. So that light is literally right up above. And the only way to not have it is to disconnect it. So I don't know. Okay, I see somebody who's on here. I can't see. Leave a comment. Oh, hey. Okay, did I just send that? I did. Okay, listen. I was just so confused with myself. Oh, that's showing up big too. Grief. Like, I literally just got a, well, I was just, you know how you're on social media, whatever. And I was putting up the video, the YouTube, the podcast that I did yesterday. Oh my goodness, incoming call. No, you can't call now. I'm on FaceTime. Incoming call from, why is it doing that? I have it on Do Not Disturb. Probably because she is, I'm not sure. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I don't know. That's what your skills are for. Hold on, guys. All right. But I saw a post and it just really kind of hit me. And sometimes when you're external family, you don't get, the phone calls and the things. And when you have to see some things on social media, it just kind of knocks you out. Well, anytime a mother has to bury a child, I don't care what the age, my heart kind of hurts a little bit. So today it started out great. As a matter of fact, Sarah and I had a great conversation. We talked about awesome things and all wonderful things. But and then I really got tired because, when I have God conversations with people, and then when you get the person that has an aha moment, then you kind of, for me, I feel like oh my God, it was a lot. So I just relaxed in it, had me something to eat, and then I read until I fell asleep. And next thing I know, I woke up. And so I had been asleep for 3 hours, so that was how it went. But these are beautiful. Making the things, well, I'm trying to decide, and maybe you guys can help me decide, but when I tell you I am not motivated to do not nothing. Not nothing. And that's a good thing, because you know what that tells me? That tells me that my 3 R's that I do, rediscover, reclaim, and renew your joy, has worked. They're working. It's working for me. And I'm happy about that. So, because if I'm in here and I'm doing all the things, that means I'm trying to keep my mind really off of grief, or trying to get my tears to stop crying or something like that. And so today kind of, like I said, it kind of hit me a little bit. These are so pretty. Kind of hit me. And then that's my point. Grief will knock the hell out of you. And you don't even know it's coming. Like the rain, the rain is coming because you kind of look at the rain and you're just like, oh, okay, it's the rain. But grief, it does not let you know that, oh, I'll be joining you today and you're just going to be in a flood of tears and you're going to have to get your stuff together, and wherever you are, that's where we're going to be. Thank God I was home. So let's just say that. But how do you feel like when grief comes and knock the hell out of you? Like if you've lost a loved one, you've lost that person, and then they come, you think about them, and then it kind of makes you happy sad, if that makes sense. These are pretty. I might be getting a little motivated, but I wanted these because I wanted to do something for the craft show the next month. And I have books already made, and I think that's where my downfall is. I have about 7 books, not necessarily this size, they're all sizes, and I'm just like, okay, well, that's what we're gonna do. And then my daughter's doing something, and then Sarah's doing something, and then Pierre's doing something. So I was like, I think we got enough for our table. I don't want to overdo it. But I think I really realized about an hour ago when I took the dogs out in the rain. We're not going to open all of these, but I just want to see what the quality of paper is. I got these off of Temu, and these are good. These feel real good. As I was taking the dogs out, like I said, and it's raining, so I put my plastic cap on my head to run to the truck to get my umbrella. And then we were outside, and I walked to the mailbox, and as I was walking to the mailbox, I just was just like, this sucks. And it's just like, today was a good day. Like, this sucks. Like, why'd you have to come? Like, grief. Who asked you to show up? But I already know what it is. I've been doing what I like to call it. I've been doing the work Look, we're going to say it like the old folks say. I've been doing the work of the Lord, so therefore the enemy has to try to distract me. But the good thing is I now know the signs of when the enemy comes along or when grief decides to show up. Sometimes it's just a test to really ask myself, do you really believe what you're talking about? And so that's why I was like, you know what? I'm finna go on live because me and the people need to have a conversation. We need to talk about grief. Let's talk about it. Right? Try to go listen to music when I'm having a grief moment. That's a good thing. Music doesn't help my grief. Now that I do know. All right, let's go back to FaceTime. So, and we're trying to stop saying so too, so y'all can help me out with that. In Spain, part of my, when I look back at my video, and normally I don't look back at my videos, but this one I was like, I kind of went from the heart. So therefore I had to listen to what I said, because afterwards I was like, Lord, what'd you say? And the only thing I remember, like, I know I had to let, again, the 3 R's, how you renew your joy is to rediscover, reclaim, renew your joy. And in those, I had to talk about how I do it. And so I knew that part, but the beginning and the middle part was the beginning I knew and the end I knew, but the middle was kind of a little foggy. And so I had to listen at it. See, and I use so, like, I'll transition with so, like my name is Karen. And it used to be the and I got rid of and I put, now so is my problem. I'm going to start just pausing for the cause, and every time I feel like I'm going to transition, because I know that so is going to be in there. If you hear me like pause, then I'm telling myself actively, we're not going to say so. See, and then sometimes it just gets stuck. Like, but so is just my slide on, like just slide on word. We can't slide on. The other thing I want to talk about along with the grief, because it kind of all goes together, is Sarah and I were talking about it earlier today, and we're talking about core values. My core values have changed. They've changed over the last 10 years for certain. No, they've changed over the last 5 years. And so I just redid them. And the thing, see, if I don't say so, I'm going to say So we're going to work on it. And I'm over here doing a little tick for myself, which makes me very conscious of that I'm doing something. I'm being very intentional with what I'm doing. But the thing that I wanted to talk about more so, like in our life, is what is your core value? And then at the end of the day, like, what is core value? So I pulled up this thing and I wanted to see what just really core values. They're different for everybody, right? Mine right now happens to be peace. We want peace, integrity, and financial growth. Those are my 3 right now. Those are the 3 that I've worked on. But you have core values for your personal life. You have core values for your marriage. You have core values for your friendship. But they all kind of come back together for who you are as a person. Like my financial growth, I want that to be more so in my business, because the financial growth for my home is not necessarily, I'm not going to say it's not my job, but most of the inside the house is, that will probably be more so under my husband's core value. Because if I say something about like taking money and putting it over here and doing this, he'd be like, well, no, we got that. I got that, whatever. So we let a man stay, and I ain't trying to overstep man's world. And the other thing is in friendship. And then when I was looking at my core values, the question came to me is like, when is it time to, I don't know how I want to really phrase it or how I want to talk about it, but I'm going to say it, just say it. When is it time to just cut people off? because they don't line up with your core values. That's the only way I can say it. I couldn't candy coat it or whatever. And that might sound harsh, but when I'm over here on my grief journey, I personally have to understand and realize that the people that are in my life, when I'm having moments or when I'm having these grief journeys, I don't really care if people want to judge me. And it's like, oh, what, Karen's in a mood. Well, you're damn right. I'm thinking about maybe my child that day, or I'm thinking about my dad or something. It ain't got nothing to do with the person. But sometimes you have people in your life that they can't really focus on someone else because they're self-consumed with themselves. That's how we're going to say that. And then I'm going to drop that and leave that there. But we're talking about core values. So if you're watching the replay, hit that subscribe button. Because we're going to have a lot more FaceTime conversations. We're going to have craft time, then we're going to have FaceTime. And I was doing them together, but somebody said something that's like, I want to hear you talk and I want to have a conversation with you, but I'm not interested in painting and I don't want to see you paint. So I was like, well, dang. So I was very grateful for the feedback. And I like to serve because I had to think about that. I was like, everybody don't want to slap paint on paper. Everybody might not like the fact that I'm in my studio, but this is it. And this is where you get me, unless I'm on a walk or something like that. So when you think about it, ask yourself that question, like, when is enough enough? What are your core values? And when you have your core values that line up, and I'm not talking about your core values telling you to kick people out your life. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, let's use me, for example, because that's the only person I can talk about is moi. My core values is peace. Well, if I got somebody that like chaos and like to really, when they come, all they want to talk about is their life, their life, their life, their life. And then for me, by the time I'm done with the conversation, if I'm like this right here, that is not bringing me peace, right? So that way I need to kind of move that person over a little bit. Maybe they're not in the inner circle, because the people that are in the inner circle need to be able to handle when Karen falls. They need to be able to handle when Karen maybe doesn't have a prayer tongue. They need to be able to handle when the world is slapping me and they're there to protect and cover. And not all my friends can do that, right? So sometimes you have to just really give people a role that they can handle. And not everybody can handle my grief journey. My husband can't even really handle my grief journey. And that's not that because he doesn't want to. It's just because we're in it at the same time. Like, we've lost children. And I know when he's going through it, and he won't say nothing to me because he don't want to make me sad. But I can talk about it. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about my son. I want to talk about how he made me laugh and how funny he was. And I want to talk about my daughter, how creative she was. And I want to talk about my granddaughter, how beautiful and cute. And her life had just got started. And then I get angry. So you need to realize that these are the things that it's okay to talk about, right? And people don't really want to have the hard conversations. They want to have the pretty conversations. They want to talk about all the good stuff. But life is full of some bad stuff, right? There's a friend of mine that literally just lost her sister. And so that makes me sad. There's a friend of my mentor that just lost her son. That makes me sad. You have to have the conversations. Death is a part of life. We plan for the baby showers. We do all the things for the baby showers. But when you're planning for the baby showers, did you plan for the fact that you might have to plan for your child's death? Did you do that? Because you plan for the baby shower, and I feel like somewhere in the planning of the baby shower, somewhere in the planning of the birth and all the things, we need to have the hard conversation that everybody dies one day. We just don't know the day or the hour. Ecclesiastes says all things for such a time, or something like that. Everlasting upon everlasting. Hi, Bernadette. How are you? So we said so real quick, like back to back. But no worries. We're aware of it. I hear myself saying it now. And it's one of the things. So see, it's just so easy. I want us to really have this conversation because I want to know, when you're feeling bad, do you go inward? And if you're looking at the replay, leave a comment, answer the question, or inbox me or email me or whatever. If it's not something that you want to share on the page, but it'll help me give more conversational pieces, right? It'll help me set up more programs going forward to help people really deal with the hard conversation, and that's death. Nobody wants to talk about death. Like, I really, truthfully, I don't like talking about death, but death is a part of my life. And I want to have the conversation in a place to where it makes you feel safe and it doesn't leave you in a valley of lowness. Like, it's storming, it's raining, it's just ugly outside. And walking to the mailbox, like I said, it just jumped on me. It's just like, ugh, it's just so ugly. And then, Joshua popped in my mind, and then the two together just didn't help. And I was just like, ugh, just don't want to deal with this crap. And then, of course, I go and blame the person who is the giver of life and death. And I was just like, God, by the time I get to this mailbox, if you don't be done change my attitude, we going to have it out. Yeah, that's, told y'all, me and God have these real conversations. And by the time I got to that mailbox and got my happy mail, I still had a piss poor attitude, let's just say. And I still have a piss poor attitude. Let's be honest. Right now, I still have a piss poor attitude. Why? Because it just, it is what it is. But I don't like that it is. Like Bishop preached at Joshua's funeral, it's okay, but it's not all right. I think some along those lines. And it's basically, it is okay. Death is okay. But, at the point in time when it's happening, you don't feel like it's all right. And as a mother who have lost 2 children, and don't get me wrong, I've learned that I'm not amongst the few people in the world who have lost children. People lose children every day. Somebody just lost a child like just now. Somebody dies every 3 seconds, I think they said it is. And majority of the time, a mother has to bury their child, whether it be from stillborn birth, whether it be from cancer, whether it be from a car accident, whatever. And these days, people are losing people due. The thing that is going on now is what's that drug not ecstasy, but fentanyl. And so people are losing loved ones because they're just trying to find a little resemblance of relief. And then people are pretty much poisoning them, or they're not trying. I don't believe people that are dying from fentanyl. I personally don't believe it's like everybody's committing suicide with fentanyl. I just believe people are looking for a release. They're looking for somebody to just hold them and say that it's going to be okay. So then that's where I come on. I come on here, and usually, like I say, I'm sliding paint on paper because that's what gives me comfort. But like I said, I haven't been in a creative mood. Look, this is where it's been. This is the most I've done since I've been back from Spain. And these are colored pencils, which I got from Five Below, by the way, and they are amazing. You see that? And this is new paint that I got yesterday from Michael's. That's about it as far as it got. Did some leaves, but I have not painted. And I had all intentions. Well, when I came back, I was sick, first of all. And I don't think it was sick. I just think my sinuses just decided to have an explosion. And so therefore, I just sat down and just let my body be. But on this journey, death is a part of life. And we need to have, I want to really say we need to have a good support system. And don't think that everybody that you can count on in your circle will be there when you need them. Sometimes grief brings you new people in your life. Sometimes grief brings new things in your life. Hence the 3 R's: rediscover, reclaim, and renew. All 3 of those are different. Like when you really, really look at it, when I really, really break it down, right? It's kind of like this. It's kind of like when you think about it, right? Rediscovering joy. It's a transformation. It's transforming grief into what is now your new normal, right? And then you look at the importance of acknowledging that this grief is there and that it hurts and it's pissing you off and you're mad. And I think when you for me, the first thing that I did is after Joshua was murdered, and I, had to deal with the next day and the next day and then the month after and then the year after. And now we're 5 years after. My question was always, how am I going to forgive somebody for taking my son's life? Like, how am I going to orchestrate those words to come out of my mouth to say, oh, I forgive you? And I'm basically saying, oh, it was okay for you to kill my son. It was okay for you to ambush him in his apartment and just, kill him. It was okay. That's what it is for me right now. And I know that's not what God means for it to be, right? I know God wants me to genuinely forgive from the heart. I'm not there yet. I'm working on it. At least I know the importance of it, but I'm just not there yet. And that's the flesh side. The spiritual side, I really believe spiritually, I know that vengeance is mine, said the Lord. I know that. So I know that God will handle them in his time. Right now they're all in jail. But I need to know. I don't need to know anything. First of all, I want to know. Let's put that in perspective. How many times do you want to know? Like, you feel like you need to know something, but you really don't need to know it. You just really want to know it. So that is the other thing is, Karen, you don't need to know anything. You want to know. You want to know the hands that orchestrated this. Like, you want to know who else. Because it's so much, it's so much bigger than what it is. But anyway, I digress to something that doesn't have anything to do. Well, it kind of do. So anyways, but this is why I say rediscover, reclaim, and renew your joy is very, very important for my life. And if it resonates with other people, that's why I'm on this journey, and I've accepted this call that God continues to want to just pile and place on me. And I'm just a little kid in the grocery store kicking and screaming. It's just like, can't you give it to somebody else? Can't somebody else? I'm not the only mother. But God says death is bigger than me. Death is bigger than the other mother. Death is bigger than all the people. So my lane is what it is, right? Every mother can't get up here and talk about it, right? That's just that. Every mother don't want to talk about it. Some women want to go on, move on, put a lid on it, literally put the lid on the casket, put it in the ground and move on. And they're okay with their lives. They bury it internally. Or some just don't process it. Maybe, I don't know. I've talked to one person, the person is on drugs. So they're not even cognizant that their child is gone. So when they come down off their high, all they know is they want to get back up again, and they're not worrying about anybody else. So that's the sad reality of life, but it's life. And that's why I wanted to really continue, maybe outside of, the art, help people to find peace, hope, and joy. Because as my core values, peace is number one. I've dealt with, and for the last 17 years, I've dealt with the pain of losing my daughter and my granddaughter, and the last 5 years losing my son. And so I need peace. And I don't necessarily mean sitting in the studio quiet by myself all the time. It just means I need peace in my life to where I don't want to hear my children going at it. I don't want to hear this daughter talk about that daughter. I don't want to hear my husband talk about whatever it is he's got. If it doesn't bring me peace when we're talking about it, I just don't want it to really get into my spirit, because life has just really served us a lot. Like, we got a lot that's coming. Like, the next 4 years, I'm not worried about it because I know that God is in charge overall. However, watching some people just do some stupid and crazy things, it just doesn't bring me peace. And so those are the things that I'm talking about. Being intentional with who is in your space. Being intentional with what you do with your time. Like, even sitting here talking to me, if that's not something that is a good use of your time, then hey, catch the replay. It'll be there. It'll be up. And as a matter of fact, I got playlists now that will be just like FaceTime conversations. That's what I'm going to name it. And then you can separate the conversations from when it's art, when it's interviews, when it's podcasts, however you want to experience Karen. That's how you'll get to do it. Because I'm not leaving. I'm here to show up. Because if I don't, then I have to deal with the fact that me and God have some knockdown, drag out conversations. And usually I lose. So at the end of the day, I'm here to show up to help whoever needs to hear me. I'm not for everybody, because sometimes I'm a little hardcore. I shoot straight from the gun. I don't got time to be, ooh, that was bad English, but I don't have time to be candy coating life. I'll let the people out there in the street do that. I don't want to do that over here on my channel. Life sucks some days, and I don't have time for it. And the days when it feels great and it gives me excellence, and those are the days that I want to celebrate. But then the days like today when it just knocks the wind out of me, I really have to get a hold of it and find out what is it. Because sometimes it's usually a reason. There's a reason. So when you look at reclaiming, renewing, and rediscovering, well, I like renew to be last. So when you're reclaiming, rediscovering, and renewing your joy, you have to embrace the new normal, right? Really. So grief is just, to me, grief, if you're grieving, it means your heart is hurting, and it really means that you loved someone. That's what it means to me. And I had this stamp that I remember. The stamp says, "Make today so great that yesterday is jealous." And that's what I normally try to do with my grief, is I make it to where today, okay, yesterday was greater than today, but today is really not over with. And by the time, like, as I'm talking to you guys and really dumping this out right here, right now, I'm feeling better. My heart still will always hurt and long, but it doesn't really bleed. Like, it doesn't skip beats and really feel like blood is literally like clogged up. Like, the pain in my chest isn't that tight anymore. And so I've accepted the fact that grief is just the meaning that I've lost some things. I've lost some people that I love. And, grief isn't just losing loved ones. Because I said I've lost some things. And some things in my life was okay that I lost. Some things in my life needed to be lost. Some things in my life didn't need to come into the next season. So that's where we're talking about those core values. So we got core values. Check your core values. Check your surroundings. Check your people. Check yourself. Make sure that you're not people pleasing. Make sure that you're doing what you want to do, because life is too freaking short to be doing what everybody else want to do, and everybody else is happy and you're not happy. That's it. That's it. Peace, hope, and joy. The holidays are coming up. Oh, God, I just hit that right on the head. It's November, December. Like, duh. I try to ignore it. But, yeah, look, not the twins, but Joshua and Tanika's birthday is next month. That's what it is. That is exactly what it is. See how we just did that? Now I just literally feel lighter. It's just like, oh, that's what it is. Because once you define it, describe it, then you know. Oh, okay. Well, that's what it is. Well, golly gee. Now what I'll need to do is figure out what I want to do. What I want to do for the birthday. The puppies are going home on their birthday. I am doing that. That's what we are. That's it. So, said so. Anyways, we're working on it. We're working on it. All right. I'm not going to stay on here long. This was supposed to not even be this long, right? But I wanted to share my heart from the broken place, the hurting place, and the pissed off place while it was there, because I want people to understand that even though you see Karen on here and you see her, speaking literally around the world, and you see all the good, I also want to show up when it's not so good. Now, will I get on here and shed a country tears? It ain't happened yet, but just trust me. It happened before I got on here, because on the walk to the mailbox, it was raining and tearing, and now I get it. Their birthday is next month. And I can't believe that it's the end of the year already. Can y'all believe it is November the 19th, and we are almost into another year? Almost. Bernadette, I'm going to text you soon, because I don't know if you saw the post Bishop put up. So when I get off of here, I'm going to be making a conversation to Lady Kim, because my heart is with the family right now. But all right, guys, y'all know what I say. Do one thing every single day. Do one thing today. Today's not over with. That makes you happy. And again, I ain't got y'all know I don't have no cups empty around here. And that's a good thing. But we got a little cup right here, because we can't pour from empty things. Like, you can't get nothing out of here, because there's nothing in here. So I can't share. I can't give you anything. But I do hope and pray that anything or something that I said, and like I said, if you're watching the replay, if anything resonated with you and you can relate, and if you happen to be a mother who have lost a child and you're just like, oh my God, that's how I feel. you're not alone. I'm here. The how to work with me, how to reach me is in the description box below. And, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification because I don't plan my lives. It's usually here lately how things work because I feel like if I give y'all the just pop up, then you're going to get the real raw me. And then if I schedule something other than creating, then you get to really experience me, especially if you don't know me. Because right now we're getting to know each other, and you're still trying to decide if you even want to continue to come and slide by my page, and that's okay. It's all good. Because again, I'm not for everybody. A lot of people don't want to hear about grief. A lot of people don't want to hear about death. But a lot of people do want to know how to live after they've lost a loved one. A lot of people do want to know, how do you do it? And so I'm here for those people. Love you guys. Thank you for showing up. Y'all have a great day. And remember, do something just for you. Fill yourself up because we can't pour from these empty cups. Love you guys.